What an interesting story that we see at the time of this recording. Jussie Smollett, depending on how you pronounce his name, Jesse or Jussie. We often say Jesse, although we see the spelling looks like it's pronounced Jussie. Is definitely someone that is not new to any of you who are watching this, and not new to any of you around the world, based off of the case that happened a couple years ago here in Chicago, not too far from where I live, where I used to live at least. And Jussie lied to the Chicagoans here about an abduction from white racists who noosed him and poured bleach on his head and called him the N-word and said that used racial and homophobic slurs. I mean, he laid it out. Boy, did he lay it out. I mean, he tried to find every avenue of hatred and vitriol against him and his sexuality and his color, so that he can get the attention of so many around the world, at least around the country. And guess what? It worked. See how we can unpack this in about 60? Bass.
It's the show that will get you thinking, and where the topics are hot. Feel free to comment whether we agree or not, 'cause he's got something to say. Sirwalterj Jones. Sirwalterj Jones. He's got something to say. Sirwalterj Jones. Sirwalterj Jones Show.
Come on in. The water's fine. Do 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 do. Hello, everybody. Sirwalterj Jones Show. I'm he. It is the evening edition, baby. How y'all is? Come on in. The water's fine. Water's fine. Jussie. Good to see all of y'all from the Bunker family. Oh man. This, is really ridiculous. Jussie is a fool. I can really end the show right here. I watched the first, maybe the second season of Empire. Why? Because I was bored. Happened in 2000. When did it come out? 2017, 18? I don't know. I was watching it because I just wanted to figure out why is everybody all excited about this Empire thingy. And I'm not really into that those kind of shows. Not really mine. Not really mine. I just watch a PBS special on an animal eating another animal. I just find that just more exciting, and just all right. It just makes me smarter when I see animals eat each other. But then when you see these animals eat each other on scripted television, So I can only get through a season, and I said I can't do this anymore. It's just too much man on man, and woman on woman, and the language, and it's just too much. And Jussie, I guess he just wasn't making enough money. I don't know. He didn't do it for the money. And then the judge laid the hammer down on this man. Laid the hammer down. Jussie's a fool. Jussie is one of the biggest fools we've seen in the African American community. Yeah, he's mixed. He's got white father, black mama. Yeah. He's still black. You got this much black blood, you black. All right here. See if I can I do this? I ain't done this in a while. Will this play? Let's see. Will this play?
And then he kind of asked to speak, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't expect what would come when he asked to speak.
Yes. Let's take a look at that and see what Jussie had to say.
Right now, that's what I was trying to say. Okay, I'm not suicidal. Okay, I am not suicidal. I am innocent, and I am not suicidal. If I did this, then it means that I stuck my fist in the fears of black Americans in this country for over 400 years and the fears of the LGBTQ community. Your Honor, I respect you and I respect the jury, but I did not do this. And I am not suicidal. And if anything happens to me when I go in there, I did not do it to myself. And you must all know that.
So, right?
Yeah, you must all know that. Right? So evidently there was an issue about suicidal tendencies, maybe from his family or from the fans or have, or some people who he found so dear and loving in his life. The judge, prior to that, something which is unusual in the court, asked the person who's on their way to a sentence. They usually the person in the hot seat is usually asked to say something before he is sentenced. So this was unusual. And then the judge, as gracious as he was, let Smollett do whatever he wanted to do. He said what he said, and then all his lawyers was like, okay, judge, could you rescind this? Can you lessen the sentence? Can you do this? And the judge was like, nope, denied. Nope, denied. Next, nope, denied. Who else? No. He says, I just sat here for 40 minutes and gave this boy a lashing, and now you want me to not put him in jail? Denied. So this is all, what the lawyers do after a sentence like that. It's all paperwork. It's really, they have to do it. It's all, what's the word I'm looking for, y'all? Y'all know the word I'm looking for. It's just what you have to do. As he was marching out of there, he did the whole fist bump. Jussie's a fool. Jussie's a fool. He's a fool. I'm not suicidal. And Ron, routine. It's all technicalities. Yeah, thank you, Richly. Ron. It's just routines. Okay? And he got out of there. The judge said that's the word I'm looking for. C-Dub. Hey, C-Dub is here. Formality. It's all formality. That's all it is. Jussie's a fool. Y'all understand? He's a fool. So I was writing some of the notes on my sticker uppers here, and as Jussie was walking out, some woman talking about. I'll say that in a minute. I'll say that in a minute. So the judge says there are two sides to Jussie. You who are black folks, I'm going to need you to know that just because the skin of your color is darker than the average Japheth's son, the colonizers, do not mean that every judge is trying to get you put in jail forever. It does not mean that every judge is racist against you. I put the link to this sentencing in the description below. And that judge was extremely fair. If I got in trouble again, which will never, ever happen again, I would want to be in that judge's court. He was a white judge. Looked like he's from the Beverly Hillbillies. He looked like Jeffro. His hair was, he looked like a hippie. I would love to be in his court. He was extremely fair. He said there's two sides to Jussie. He gave the good side of Jussie. If a judge wanted dirt or wanted blood out of you, he would not have given the good side. He says you have that dark side. Ooh, that hit me in the gut. He said this was hour upon hour of perjury. You see, Jussie is going to jail, not because he lied. He's going to jail for the same reason why they impeached Bill Clinton. Can y'all tell me for what? I knew in the sentence, I said, you know what? It would be tough to put that man in jail for the crime that he committed. But they're going to find a perjury charge to put him in jail. That's before I even got the notice that he was being sentenced today. I knew right away how the judge was going to play this out, and I am a prophet. I'm a prophet. He was very specific. Jussie Smollett lied to the Chicago police. That is a crime. You lied. Lying to the police then weakens the department because many men and women hours were put on the Jussie Smollett lying case. You understand? Thousands of dollars was put up so that these men and women could spend all of this ridiculous time when somebody's breaking in my house, somebody's carjacking me, but the police is taking care of a fool. Just as a fool. It's a fool. So that's a perjury crime. You don't lie to the law. And then they put the brothers in there, the Orcell and Darrell brothers. The judge was like, listen, these boys trusted you. They thought that you were the greatest hero since sliced bread. They were starstruck, and you put them up, made them do this for you. And then he said, you are a charlatan. He said, and this cut me really deep, y'all. This judge cut me. I tell you, I could really write a book about everything the judge said. He said, your very name is the very adverb to lying. Oh my God. He said, your name. Do you not understand the dagger that went into Jussie Smollett's heart? Went right in there and he turned it. He put it in the back and turned. He said, every comedian, the Tonight Shows, they're all laughing at you, making fun of you because your name is in the dictionary under you a lie. If you's a lie was a person, it would say Jussie Smollett. You's a lie. Oh, it cut me deep. It cut me in my innermost chandelier. He said, you created a heater. I had never heard that phrase before. I'm not into that sector of political theater. Okay, in the Justice Department, they wanted me to be in the Justice Department, but I said no. I got the Bunker family to tend to. I cannot be taking care of people's crimes. All right. He said, you created a heater. A heater is a public. He described it. You know what? This judge was like Jesus talking to the disciples and the Pharisees. He was telling them what's going on, and then he would interpret what it means. I'm trying to tell you, I could preach a sermon or what this judge. Find the judge's name. What's his name? I'm gonna write him a letter. Tell him thank you for putting a black man in jail. Not just any black man. He just happened to be black. But thank him for putting him away to teach him a lesson. Because he going to lie for the rest of his life. His name is Jussie Smollett. It's now in the Oxford Dictionary under lie. You just Jussied me. How dare you? I feel like you have attacked me with your Smollettness. Okay? It's in the Oxford Dictionary. I saw it yesterday. He said, you created a heater, Judge James Lynn. He said, a heater is a public push for the police to do something. He said, a heater is what you created was, you did a crime. All right? You lied. And you got the attention of the public, and the public is on your side, and then they push the police to solve the crime you created a heater. Lord have mercy, this is a great sermon. Reba, it's a great sermon right here. All right, what did he say? What else he said? He said, the wheels of justice turn slowly. This man was preaching. I think he read from Martin Luther King. Somebody. He was reading. He said, the wheels of justice turn slow. He said, I had to put the hammer down, though, on you. Oh, that hit me in my shanda. It did richly. It hit me hard, man. He preached the gospel. 6 counts of disorderly conduct. So as he was leaving the courtroom, when he was leaving the courtroom, then some woman said, stop locking up black men. I wanted to cuss. I did, y'all. Bunkers, I wanted to cuss. I wanted the cameras to find that black chick. I wanted the cameras to zoom into her ugly face. Did I say that, Lord? Lord, now, I meant that. I want the cameras to pull into her ugly face. When she said, stop locking up black men. Listen here. Listen, young lady. This is a man who lied, who Jussied. This is a man who Smolletted. And he had the whole police department on lockdown for months. My tax money was being burnt up on a lot. My tax money was being burnt up on a Jussie. Okay? This was a contempt based off of a Smollett. Okay? So just because his skin is a little dark, although Jussie's a little high yellowish, ain't all that dark. All right? That man went to prison, well, to jail. The judge says, I should or could put you in prison. He said, but based off of the laws and the regulations of the law, you see, the judge was fair because he could not emotionally put this man away, which what we used to see back in the day. But so now y'all finally did something right in the midst of what's wrong, because you put politicians in there to create laws to stop these judges from just emotionally just throwing people in jail. So you can't now just commit a crime in a particular state and then the judge says, I'm going to give you life. No, you can't. The Congress says, here is how much you can give him. You can give him this less, but you can't go. But yeah, there's a ceiling right there. So the judge can't go above that ceiling, because if he go above that ceiling, he can lose his job. You understand? It's a good system. It ain't perfect, but it's a good system. The system is bad because a person who's a black man smokes crack. He gets this big sentence, but a white man does a more expensive a crime, which is cocaine, and his is this small. You understand? Cocaine costs $1 million. He gets a slap on the wrist. Crack cocaine costs $5, and he gets life. So you understand? So the system is good unless you look in the mirror and see that the pigmentation of your skinarity is of a different oracle. All right, so he now have to pay $120,000 to $130,000 to the police department to pay all these salaries, plus a fine of $25,000. So that's $130,000 plus $25,000. Plus he's serving 150 days in jail, not prison. Now y'all like, good. You just said Smollett folks. All right, you're saying good. But let me tell you, I've been to jail. I was in there. I wasn't sentenced to jail. I was in there waiting so that I can see a judge. And I was in there for 2 whole weeks. That 2 weeks felt like 2 whole years. And I was in, my cellie was a murderer. You understand? See, they put you in there with whoever. They don't care. They just lock you up in general. Now, Smollett will probably be put in some type of protective custody because of his fame. Not because he's a gay man, but because a lot of I was locked up with gay folks. They just walked around. Just, hey. I'm like, hey, sit your... Okay, I'm just waiting on the judge. I'm not sentenced here to play with you. All right, I'm here waiting. All right, but while I was there waiting, my inmates, the cellies and all these other guys, they said, Walter, you do not want to stay here in jail. You want to go to prison. I said, the hell. I said, excuse me? They said, listen, I've been to prison. He says, I prefer prison. If I'm going to see the judge tomorrow, and I'm hoping, he said, now I'm going to stay in here or there. He says, but I'm hoping that the judge put me back in jail. I mean, in prison. Send me off to Sing Sing. I don't want to stay here. I said, what? You know, my voice got really high, and the gay guy in the next cell was like, hey, you called? No, I'm not talking to you, bro. I'm talking to Marcelli. Okay. Going back in there. And I said, you said what? He said, yeah, man. He said, I would rather go to prison. I would rather go to prison. I said, why would you want to go to prison, man? That's what all of the... I've been watching... I said, I watch... Andy the Frame. When I saw him come in here, we made a bet he ain't gonna last. It's something about that Andy the Frame. I said, I watched that movie over and over and over and over again, and I saw the Shaws and the Shanks. I synced it, man. It was just horrible. The warden. I said, they got wardens over there. And the wardens go and break in. He opens up the cells, and he checks all your stuff. All right, and he has a Bible in his hand, and he wants you to quote scriptures from the Bible, and he's got his thug officer who makes his other thug officers beat you and stuff like that, and then you gotta put a half naked picture on the wall. Raphael Colette, what her name is? Anyway, a white woman, you gotta put a white woman up there on the wall because just in case I need to break out of the jail, I gotta cover the hole. He said, shut up, fool. Shut up, fool. It ain't like that. It ain't like that, man. I said, it ain't like that? He said, it ain't like that. He said, we have microwaves, we have television, we have video games, we have room to roam. We've got little amenities here and stuff like that. Blah, blah. He says, we got a nice, comfortable bed and pillow and comforters. And I said, what? And the gay guy talking about something. You call me again? Stop calling me. I said, listen, nigga. Listen. I'm 100% pure beef of a man. You understand? So I don't swing that way. My door swing one way. This is not a revolving door. Do you understand what I'm saying? All right. I swing one way. All right. Understand? All right. Going back in there. All right. He went back in there. I was like, you say what? He said, yeah, man. We got all these amenities. He said, I do not want to stay in the jail because you in this one cell, locked up 23 hours a day. And they let you go outside and get some fresh air for 1 hour a day. He said the food is bad here. At least in prison, the food is better. And you can go out a little longer. You can stretch. I said, what? He come out and said, I told you stop calling me. I said, listen, fool. Listen. I had to drop my voice like Andrew Caldwell. I said, listen, fool. I got a whole woman at home. And she loved me. The phone ringing right now. That's my woman right now. That's my woman. You understand? I like womans. I never been gay no more. I like women's. You understand? Sure. All right. Now where was I? Oh yeah. So the woman was talking about some. Stop locking up black men. I wanted to say heifer. She just upset at me, y'all. I had the cussing spirit that took over me. It took over my soul. I said, you've been Black Lives Matter, didn't you? You've been Black Lives Matter because Jesse Jackson, who else wrote a letter to the judge? And the judge recognized it. The judge was like, listen, this Negro, I'm sorry, read that back to me. She like, hold on, Judge. This Negro, okay, that's not what I meant. Stenographer, that's not what I meant. Court reporter, can you stricken that from the record? Hold on. You colonizers, hold on. Okay, now read it back to me. This, is that all? You told me to strike it. This, that's it. Okay, now continue. All right, so he like, Rainbow Coalition wrote me a letter and say, dear Mr. Judge, now Smollett, the liar, well, he's not really one of ours. Look at him. Just look at his face. Look at his hair. He has no more hair. He used to have hair. He now looks like Kirk Franklin. We want you to have mercy on him, because the public, he has created what may be called a heater. He created a heater. And the people at the church here, at the Rainbow Coalition, they're not paying their tithes and offerings like they used to, because they're in the front of the church right now talking about them free that liar. Free. So we want you to have mercy on him. Now, don't give him 160 days. Can you give him 150? Do not read this letter out loud. Signed, ex-con Jussie. Not Jussie. Our name may sound alike, but it's Jussie. Jesse. Jussie. Not Jussie. Jackson. All right. And he mentioned that they were interested in having mercy. He said, listen, I find these men to be honorable. Now, listen to how the judge set this up, y'all. That's why I want this judge. I want this judge in my life. Notice how he set it up. He said, now, Mr. Jussie Smollett, you are a liar. Your whole name and your whole life is lie. You did this to yourself. You's a fool. He said, you are a charlatan. You created this. You have a dark side. You're an evil. You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. He said, the wheels of justice turn slow, but on your blacks, I must lay the hammer down. He said, but let me tell you, Jesse Jackson, A man in whom I honored. So when he went into the Jesse Jackson thing, I thought, man, Smollett is about to get off. Jussie has won another one. Run, Jussie, run. So he brings up Jussie. He said, now, Jesse Jackson is an honorable man in this town. He said, the Chicagoans, we love our people. Our citizens here pay their taxes. Our citizens here, we vote. Our citizens here look after each other. You remember the Chicago flood? You remember? We were there. Black, white, Asian, Mexican, all came together. Out of many, one. To look after our Chicagoland and the Chicanos. You know the Chicanos, right? You know, the ones who came over the river. Y'all, you know, the backs are wet. Anyway, roll it back in. What court reporter, what did I say? I can't read that. Okay. So he brought up Jussie. He's like, Jussie is a good man. He is a pioneer for African American social justice. And then he said, I ain't listening to none of it. I'm giving you 150 days. He said, Jussie's a good man, but you know what? He's old. He's old and tired. This ain't 1975. He old and tired. I respect him. I applaud. He walked with Martin Luther King. He was right there at the Lorraine Motel. He was there. Let everybody please stand. Everybody stand. Let's honor the man. It was a rounding applause. Honor him. All right. Order in the court. Sit down. Now, then he said, but it doesn't really matter. I'm giving you 150. I'm giving you 150 days. And right, Robbie said, keep hope alive. and you have to pay 120,000 plus 25,000 plus these days, and may the Lord have a blessing. He did a little doxology. Then he said, do you have anything you want to say, Mr. Liar? Oh, I'm sorry. Court reporter, what is his name? No, you got it right, Judge. You got it right. Yeah, you got it right. What you want to say? He says, I don't have my props. I'm sorry. He had his mask on. He said, no, I don't have anything to say. He said, wait a minute. I am not suicidal. And then he stood up. Hear ye. They come to the left and they come to my right. And he went on with his thespian. He looked at the audience. I am not. Now listen, Judge, listen. And he did the gay thing. He said, listen, Judge. I respect your authority. I respect you. You are fine, sexy. Oh, you're so fine, Judge. You're so fine, Judge. What you doing after this sentencing? What you doing? He said, but Judge, I respect you. He said, jail, listen, prison, jail, listen. Now, y'all got to rewind the tape because I'm not making this up. Jail, listen, jail. And he turned to the audience. He said, I am not suicidal. Whatever happens to me in this jail, it ain't because I did it to myself. Somebody shanked me. Somebody of the Mexican creed shanked me. Some mafia hit me in the back with a shank and turned the knife. All right, so if I don't make it in this, listen, Judge. Judge, listen. I respect you. You sexy. You so sexy. And then all his lawyers was like, can you erase that? Judge, like, really? I just sat here for 40 minutes and told y'all I'm putting this boy in jail. They were like, and this woman, this black woman, oh, she just thought that she was going to make a grand appearance. She was somewhere off the side. Again, the link is below. She was somewhere off the side, and she came in here with her Sunday's best. She woke up this morning and said, I'm going to make a scene with this Chanel number 5 dress. I'm like, I didn't know they even make dresses. Okay, she came in there. Soon as they give him a chance to speak, I'm gonna go right into. I want to be the state prosecutor. I'm just a little lawyer right now. But watch what I do. And then she walked over there. You can see her whispering in the lawyer's ear. The black guy. She's whispering. I said, uh-oh. Keep your eye on that black woman right there with the poofy hair, with the colorful dress. Her grandmama wheeled down to her from the 1940s. And she came in there just all bad and whispered. She whispered. Y'all got to see it. I'm not lying. And then she says, as the judge was like, okay, y'all, we're done. She says, excuse me, judge. Me. Is this mic on? She was like, is this mic on? I'm about to make my grandest. My 15 minutes is coming right now. My grandmother told me about this day. Here it is. She said, Judge, will you please rescind your order to put our client in jail? We must have this sentence lessened because the judge says, denied. She was like, and she went back to whispering in the brother's ear. I think she was saying, how did I do? Did I do all right? Was the state prosecutors looking at me? I'm trying to get in. I'm trying to get hired. Were they looking at me? How's my dress? How's my dress? Do you smell me? Do I smell good? Just like denied. She like, all right, thank you. And she called her kids at the house. Did y'all see it? Did y'all see your mama? How'd I do? Huh? Y'all saw how I stepped up to the judge, all bold, like Mother Johnson told me to do at church Sunday. And I testified at church. I said, Saints, I'm going to defend Jussie tomorrow. Y'all pray for me. I'm going to put on my apostolic dress. And I'm going to go in there and the Lord is going to lead and guide my tongue. And I'm going to speak to the lead lawyer. And I'm going to whisper in his ears, thus said the Lord. And then I'm going to approach the judge. And with all the might that I have, I'm going to tell the judge, release him. Please release him. Let him go. He's not guilty anymore. Okay? I'm going to put him on the mercy of the court. Watch me, saints. Be watching around 7 o'clock p.m. tomorrow night. Amen. 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 Let's dismiss. Child saved is a soul saved plus a life. Amen. Amen. They went home. Oh, she got ready. And then we all was watching live as she stepped to the mic. Is this thing on? Judge, man, he said, denied. Denied. She was like, that's all right. That's all right. She went in the back and she went to the bathroom and called her kids. Did y'all see me? Huh? How your mama do? Yeah. Listen. I'm famous. Oh man. So what do we learn from all this? Stress will do this. What do we learn from all this? Here's what we learned. You gotta stop lying. Stop Smolletting around, y'all. Stop Smolletting. You gotta. I hate to be a part of the Smollett family. Do y'all not understand that now the Smollett family got to walk around saying, Bueller here, Johnson here, Pritchett here, Perry here, Jones here, Smollett, Smollett, thought I saw the Smollett come. I thought I saw Smollett come in here. Yeah, Mr. Johnson, Miss Smollett is over there. Smollett. Oh, I get it. I get it. I get it now. Who would want to be a part of that family now? Huh? Who wants to be a part of the Oxford Dictionary? Huh? Who? What's your name? Are you ready for this? All of the Smollett families got to say that. They have to be introduced as, listen, here's my friend now. All the Smolletts go to a party, all right? No matter what party is, some kind of social event, church, I don't care. And they all individually have to be introduced by somebody, a friend. Hey, y'all, come here. I want to introduce y'all to my friend. This is Johnny. Okay, wait. Now, before I tell his last name, that means your life is filled with people having to explain you before they introduce you. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Walter. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me explain something to you. Let me explain something to you. It's not his fault. All right? It's not his fault. 15 years ago, there was a man by the name of Jussie. Okay. And then 15 minutes later, all right, y'all get it now. We get it. All right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Walter Smollett. So sad. It's so sad. Thou shalt not Smollett against thy neighbor. Y'all wrong. Y'all, the bunkers are wrong. Every one of y'all need to repent. All right. So what is the whole meaning behind all of this? Is this: stop lying, stop Smolletting around the place. All right. Number one. Number two. Just because you black, don't mean you gonna get out of committing a crime in Chicago, in L.A., in Atlanta, in Texas. Both Texases. It's Houston and Dallas. There's two Texases, okay? Two. All right? Like there's two Washingtons, there's two Texases. All right? You can't get away with the lie. Stop lying. You put us in harm's way, bruh. You put us in harm's way. So I'm hoping and praying that Smollett learned a lesson while he's in that penitentiary, well, in the jail. That, well, how many months is that, y'all? 5 months? That 5 months that he's going to live out, and they probably let him go early, knowing them. All right. Hopefully he's going to learn a lesson. Now, what that lesson going to be, I don't know. But he is a narcissist, and narcissists need medical attention. Putting them in jail only holds the illness down and protects it from the public. You understand? When you release him, usually he's worse off because you just held it down and tied it to a cell. Mm-hmm. And it builds up over time. Then he comes out with more than just his narcissistic way. All right. Who is this said? Because this actually is more serious than I'm making it. This man's got an illness. Sad situation. Somebody said when mental illness meets the lure of the bright lights, he hid behind his mental illness, smiled for, and tap dance for everybody. But the drive and the crave for the spotlight is always there, pulling the narcissist towards that, like a moth to a flame. And we have given power to these kinds of people. We did that. Like we helped R. Kelly do what he did with all those young girls. We helped him. So we're going to have to do something about that. I need y'all to speak to your children and find out what's going on in their brains. Talk to them. Stop allowing them to just say and do whatever they want to do. Sit down and have a nice conversation with your children like I do. I sit down and have very, very serious conversations with my children. Stuff that they just don't usually hear somebody ask them. I ask them and they will say, wow, nobody ever asked me that question before. I know. I'm asking you that as your father because I want you to succeed in this world. I don't want the public to look at you as a disgrace because you represent me. Me. You understand? I'm going to shut this down by saying this. My brother Rodney said something very interesting to me, and in his story almost had me in tears. Yesterday we were taking my father to the train. My father is taking an Amtrak train with my brother David to California for about a 3-day trip one way, and he's just going to enjoy his old age, my father. But we were reminiscing about my father and how he would chastise us for things that we did wrong. But we were talking about integrity in the family, and we both came to a consensus that we are so glad that we're part of the Jones family. All right? We could be part of any family, but we're so glad we're part of the Jones family, number one. Number two, we are excited that we're part of the Lawrence Cleveland Jones Sr. family. Not just any other of the Joneses, like our cousins and our uncles and what have you. No, we are excited that we are part of the Lawrence Cleveland Jones Sr. clan. All right, within the Jones family, because there is a special calling on our lives. All right, special calling. And that calling is integrity. And he said he remembered when he was young, he was a teenager. Was he a teenager? I think now he's might have been in his 20s. He was a young man. And the neighborhood thief was going around stealing stuff. We knew who he was. Okay, I'm not going to call his name because he's now saved. Okay, he's now saved. And every now and then he watched the show. So I ain't going to say his name. He stole my brother's saw. I think from my dad's house or something like that. My brothers are carpenters. So my brother was walking down the street on his way to the store, and the thief, the neighborhood thief, was getting ready he was offering Rodney to buy back his saw. Now the thief didn't know that it was his saw. All right, because a thief is steal. And then so Rodney said, okay, hold on. And he said, that looked like my saw. He said, hold on for a minute, all right? And the thief was with his other friend. Rodney went to the payphone, called my father, said, Dad, can you check the back to see if your tools are still there? Because somebody's here trying to sell me my saw. My father said, hold on. He went in the back. He said, oh, my goodness. The equipment is gone. He says, Dad, they're right here. He says, I'll talk to you later. I'm about to get my saw back. He hung up the phone. He turned around, and those guys evidently heard the conversation, and they ran away. So he calls the police. The police pops up. Now, y'all got to understand, this was back in the day. Hold on. Now, y'all like, wait a minute. So I had not planned to do this prop. All right. This is not the gag I had planned on doing, but I had this on the floor for next week's Bible study. Right. So I just happened to have this. So as y'all know, back in the day, this was the payphone. So if you was getting molested or raped, you had to be patient. So he picked up the phone and there was no 911 back then. You had to call the local police department, and it was a 7 number. It was a 7. You had to wait. 4. That's 5. And you want it to be a 1 or the 2 because it's quick. It's quick. You saying, but you didn't want 9. You just didn't want it, man. Elliot, you didn't want the 9. You like, what's your phone number, girl? Girl, what's your phone number? 5 3 1 9. Wait, did you say 9? Yeah, 9. I ain't got time, girl. I ain't got 9. Shoot. Hold on. So anyway, he called Angel. So he called and the police came. All right. And so the police said, what's his name? He gave him his name. So he said, get in the car. My brother Rodney's got in the back of the car. And the police said, put your hands behind your back. Make it look like you're being arrested. Okay. Delma. Right. So they driving down the street and then they see the thief's brother. And the cop said, who's this? And Rodney said, that's so-and-so. So the cop pulls the window down, rolls the window, wasn't electric at that time. The cop had to do this. Y'all understand? The cop had to do this. Hold on. Just hold on. Okay. There you go. He said, what's your name? Young man, where you going? Oh, I'm going to so-and-so, so-and-so. And the young man looked in the back and he saw my brother sitting back there and recognized my brother. Okay. And the neighborhood thief, the brother of the thief, said, why is he locked up? And why is he back there? What y'all pick him up for? And the cop said, we found him breaking into a house. So we're getting ready to take him down. The thief, the brother of the thief, which he's a thief too, the thief's response was, y'all trying to set me up. That man comes from a religious family. He would never do that. And he took off and ran. And the cop and Rodney burst out and laughed. They all laughed. And my brother Rodney said after he got through laughing, he heard the message of the integrity of the Jones family. He heard the message loud and clear from a thief. He said, Walter, it hit me like a ton of bricks after I got through laughing. This man realized that I would not do this. And I said, Rodney, that's what 1 Timothy chapter 3 was saying about he that desires the office of a bishop. It says that he is supposed to have a good name outside of the church. Everybody outside is supposed to say, Van Zelle is a good man. That's a good man right there. I can tell he loved his God. Integrity. Elliot Banks is full of love and joy and peace and long suffering. He's a good man. All of you are supposed to have that. And you cannot be Smolletted. Okay? A good name is more desired. Come on, C-Dub. All of you. Now, I know I took y'all around the block and back. I was funny and humorous and jovial as possible to tell my story, to tell give my my analogy of what happened today. But I did all that to set you up and let you know. Listen, don't do the crime if you can't do the time. No matter what's going on, always have integrity. That judge was the most fairest judge I've ever seen because he gave that man both sides. He says, this is your good side. He says, your whole family are out there doing social justice and feeding the hungry. That's what the judge says. You're doing things to help people who are downtrodden. You and your family do good work. He said, but then you have a dark side. Wow. That hit me, man. That hit me like I said, that judge right there, that might be my new pastor. My new pastor. All right, y'all, gotta go. I gotta go. Oh, yeah. He shared a similar story with me today. I told you all that same around me. Kamicha's, I'm sorry. That's Kamicha's pastor, by the way. Didn't that one thief on the side of yes, come on, Drea. You better Drea. That one thief, first of all, both of the thieves, the Bible said, riled against Jesus. Both of them did. And then the one thief that we often talk about had a change of heart. And then he turned to Jesus after realizing who Jesus was. Something came over him and he realized, wait a minute, no, this has got to be the Son of God. He says, now remember me when you get into your kingdom. And Jesus stopped dying and said, you know what? Today you will be with me in paradise. Ooh. Listen, y'all, I gotta go. For those of you who was in class yesterday, thank you. We had a good session. For those of you who could not make class yesterday, sorry. It was not my fault nor my church's fault. It was Zoom. Zoom did this. So all of you who email we have should be getting an explanation of what happened. Even that's a problem because the system that we have is only sending out emails to people quickly who got a Gmail account. Okay, the people with AOL and Yahoo, y'all stuff is coming in slow. Mine's came in 2 hours late because, you know, when we send it out to everybody, I'm in that email too. And mine's came a couple hours late last night. And some of y'all never got it because it's not based on us. It's based off of the autoresponder that sends it out. So we did our homework and we realized this happens quite often with a lot of folks who send out mass emails. All right, so it's not us. Zoom, what they did was they reverted us back to a basic package, the free one where you can only get 100 people in there. And that was not supposed to happen because last week we had 160 people. Remember? Y'all was there. We had 160 folks in class. So evidently we was not on the basic package. What happened? We don't know. So for a whole 40 minutes, people couldn't get in. And I'm teaching. I only see 100. For 40 minutes, I see only 100 people watching. I'm like, wait a minute. Something's wrong. But I can't stop teaching. And my phone was going off. Ding, 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 ding. Y'all was hitting my phone like crazy. I'm like, I can't. I'm teaching. Why y'all blowing up my phone? And then the number started rising, which means they had fixed the problem. By that time, y'all had went away forever. Okay? That won't happen in 2 weeks. So next week we're on a break. And the following week we will have all that stuff fixed. Meanwhile, I have individually sent y'all the link to the test. All right? Some of you did get the link last night. The rest of you did not. So we're trying to work out all those kinks. Trust me. I'm so sorry y'all didn't make it. But the replay is being sent to you tonight. So the replay and the test is being sent to you tonight so that you can take the test after you watch the replay. The replay, we were having technical difficulties even in the replay because my whiteboard was fuzzy. Man, and I came to this conclusion. Here's my conclusion. I do not blame everything on Satan. I'm not that holy, spooky, spiritual type of guy that if there's a flat tire on my car, that was Satan. No, I was riding around with bald tires, and it's science. It's just fate. It just happened because it was due benevolence of my ignoramusness. I'll be making up all kind of words. All right, so I don't blame everything on Satan. But In this case right here, it made no sense. None. That Zoom would just do that, even though we paid the bill. That they would just revert it back to the basic plan, number one. Number two, the people could not see my notes while I was teaching. Number three, all these people could not get in. Headache after headache. Come on. That was nothing but quintessential Luciferian. That was Lucifer. And he did not want you all to learn, because so many testimonies kept coming my way for the past, every day I get testimonies from people who are being changed. Not just them individually, but their whole families, husbands and wives. I've never seen it this way, where husbands and wives are unified and they're watching the shows and learning from this university. I've never seen it like this before. And they were blocked yesterday. They were blocked. So this was nothing but the devil trying to get y'all not to unify. So tomorrow is Friday night, of course, is questions and answers. So have your questions ready for whatever we talked about on Wednesday, tonight if you want to, and whatever you have, all right? Because somebody just sent me an email, a long email about a situation dealing with her husband and her and this whole tithing issue, and y'all like, no, I'm not tithing. Nah, this story is different. She asked a question, and I want to present it to y'all tomorrow, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. All right, I gotta go. I know, Angel, I've been Jussie. All right, the link to the recording is too long to put in the chat. All right, we can't put it here, she's saying. So check your email or send an email to Sunday School University SWJ. Send an email. If you don't get it, send it here. Sunday School University SWJ at gmail.com. All right. Now, if you want to be a part of the Bunker family, then you go to the regular email in my description below, giftedfriends, the number 1 at Gmail. All right. If you want to be a part of the Bunker family, you got here. But here, that's for people who are already in the university. You understand? All right, y'all. I gotta go. God, I thank you for your presence. I thank you for the people who are here. I thank you for your love. Thank you, oh God. You are gracious to us all. We so appreciate the love you have shown to us. While we were yet sinners, you died. What love is that? That a man would lay down his life for a friend. You called me friend. I pray for that Smollett clan. That whole family. And everybody who's been affected by this, including the police officers who had to take out that time to chase after a rabbit hole. All the people who have been involved. Restore. But show yourself into all of this, because this is really all about you. That man will get to know you for themselves. Help us, oh God, in however style we preach this gospel. My style is unorthodox. You know that. You created me to be this way. That I teach and preach on issues that we who are believers go through. Sometimes comical, sometimes sad, and I often make people angry. But oh God, the book of Jude, in which you sanctioned, said that some win through fear and another win through compassion. But you said both of them are pulling men out of the fire. So help me, oh God, to win those through the compassion that I use, with the hopes that they escape the fire. We love you. We give your name the praise, and the glory shall be yours in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. All right, Jerome Herod. I thought I sent it to you in the inbox. You didn't get it, brother? Jerome, are you still here? Because me and Jerome talked on the phone yesterday. We literally talked on the telly last night. Spoke to this wonderful man. And he and he called his wife in the background. Hey, babe. Babe. Guess who on the phone? Hey, Jerome. You didn't get it? Hey, Jerome, in the inbox, can you send me your email, please? I would like to have that so that we can take good care of you, brother. You are a faithful bunker, and we cannot let you go on in life and not have that information. All right? Please email me. Okay? Hold on. Yeah. Email me, please. And so I can shoot that out to you. Oh yeah, your email. It's you have a funny email name. I used to know what it was, cause I didn't know it was you until I saw it, and you sent it to me. Okay, you just sent it. Okay, it's a cute name, but I recognize when I see. Yeah, there it is. There it is. Romeo Rock. There it is. I like. Go ahead. Go ahead. Is this a Super Friends? Huh? Is this a superhero email? Jerome? Huh? Huh? Do you put a cape on when you send this email out? Huh? You one of the Super Friends? Huh? And are you a Legion of Doom? Meanwhile, back up the Legion. Huh? Jerome, I want to know before I leave this show. Where did you find the name? Huh? He said, yes, sir. I just want to know, was you wearing a cape when you came up with that name? Huh? With your wife, Romanesque. I'm going to call her Romanesque. Oh, I'm a bold man. I'm a bold man. And somebody going to give me some medicine for this. All right? I love y'all. Take care of yourselves and one another. Bye-bye.
Well, goodbye. 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 Enjoy yourself. Bye. Goodbye. 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 Bye. Well, goodbye. 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 Goodbye.
It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?
Fellas, does it seem like you can't get a good woman? Ladies, wonder why you can't keep a man? Then read The 4 Women That Men Desire, Volume 1, by Sirwalterj to figure out how to break the cycle. Go to Amazon.com to get your copy today.
Sirwalterj Show. Goodbye.